good afternoon. It's not really evening, I guess. We're a little
afternoon
earlier than
woohoo!
usual. We're trying something new. We've been trying forever to do our Facebook Lives on Thursday nights, which that's when we said we're going to be doing the Justin and Alicia show. By the way, welcome. This is the Justin and Alicia show. And we're outside on our back deck, and this is Saturday afternoon instead of Thursday night.
But seriously, we have been trying for the last many weeks. We're like, okay, Thursday night, this is it. And 2 weeks ago, we ended up in the emergency room. No joke.
Yep.
And then this week, we had an appointment with a couple that's very hard to get together with sometimes. So anyway.
But this is very important to us. We really appreciate the opportunity to be able to keep in touch with you guys and be able to share a little bit what's going on with us and our lives and our businesses and how we can help you and how we can work together, because we that's our passion and burden, is to live a life that inspires greatness and then being able to help others live up to their full potential. Mm-hmm. So that's what this Justin and Alicia show is all about.
So we'll keep you posted, but we are talking about just switching it to Saturdays, because typically we have at least a little window of opportunity to do something on Saturdays
stuff, or the weekend period. We'll try to let everybody know. But anyways, we are back, and one thing before we got started with the topic that we want to talk about here today, and that topic being kind of interesting, kind of something that's kind of came up here last minute that we thought, that's something we just want to chat about. We didn't prepare anything. There's no notes, nothing. It's just meant something from just some different quotes we've seen and different things that we started conversing that we thought, we just want to we're gonna have a little talk about it. We want your input, your thoughts on it, and that is the whole concept of anger, and is it a friend or a foe? So that'd be interesting. Hey Matt, how you doing? Good to see you.
Chris.
And Chris,
welcome.
To see you. And so, but next weekend, which is next Saturday, that'd be June 29th, we're really excited to be a part of the Crown Conference. And Crown stands for what, Alicia?
Changing Roanoke into one winning nation.
And so this is a really exciting event. It's been being in the works for a little while here. It's going to be a men's event. The Crown Conference has different kinds of events. You want to tell us
right.
different events?
So in February we did a women's Crown Conference, and it was really good. It was very well attended and had some great speakers, and then breakout sessions, and it was very successful. And we got done, and the men said, okay, ours is next. So we've been working on this one for several months here, and really excited. We have some powerhouse speakers, and then breakout sessions in the afternoon. So this is actually going to be from 10 to 4 next Saturday. And we'll post the Facebook link with all the information and stuff. There's going to be free childcare. If you happen to be a single dad or have your kids you're responsible for them that day, bring them. We have childcare all lined up, and
we are calling all men. If you're in the Roanoke Valley area, we'd love to have you come. It's a free event, but you have to get a ticket. Well, you don't have to. We want you to.
Yeah.
You just come if you don't get a ticket. But
exactly.
Get a ticket. That way we can make sure we have a seat, and make sure we have snacks for you, and make sure that
free refreshments.
We have babysitters if we need it.
It's a no-win. A win-win-win situation, because
no lose.
No lose.
Yes.
It's free. There's childcare. There's food. And it's going to be a very inspirational day. You're going to leave very glad that you came.
It is. The theme or the topic is Kings of Change. And so that's what I'm real excited about. I'm going to be one of the breakout sessions. We're going to be talking about, in fact, I've got my little outline here. It's going to be reaching and setting financial goals in 6 months. So that's kind of the theme we're going to be talking about. But with that, it's going to be setting financial goals, reaching them, and also exceeding them. And a bunch of little tips and practical things that really apply to any area of your life. Mm-hmm. But the whole concept of Kings of Change, we believe, and I believe that men need to be kings. So we are kings. Kings in your own mind, kings in your family, kings in your community. I mean, the communities in our nation, our world is just longing for good leaders, for leaders to step up and really serve and really provide opportunities. And men, I think, have a real problem these days as far as being almost silenced or squashed, with whatever reason, different movements going on. And maybe because they've, it's different leadership or different, have been abused. And but you see a lot of men not stepping up to the plate, not living their full potential. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I'm really passionate about, because I think, we need men. We need leaders. Mm-hmm. And for myself, I've seen a tendency, it's so easy just to sit back and let other people do stuff. Even if it's something I see a need, I'm like, someone else will do it, or I don't do what it takes or have the gumption to step up and meet that. or I'm waiting for someone else to step up and take lead and take the first step. And so anyway, that's what we're all about. We're all about empowering these men, empowering you guys to be able to have the tools you need, to have the vision you need, to have the mindset you need, and then hopefully to develop the relationships and the network that you need in order to really go out and make a difference. You can do so much more together than you can on your own.
Yeah.
But you have to act on your own in order to be a part of a group. And so the first step is arriving and showing up at this event and coming and being a part. So we just want to give a plug out for that and say, please make it a priority, because this is a movement that I believe is going to start here and spread throughout the country. We've already had requests from places like in Atlanta and places in California saying, hey, you need to start something like this here, or we need to have an event here.
Yeah.
And so it's people are hungry. Men, women, couples. I think there'll be a couples event here coming up down the road. But we just want to really provide an opportunity for men this time. So look forward to seeing all you guys. Anything else on that?
I don't think so. 10 to 4 next Saturday, the 29th.
All right, now to our topic, we wanted to kind of, I don't know why this has stood out to us now. It's kind of just this morning. It kind of came to a head, and we're like, we need to talk about that. We've been talking about our Facebook Live. There's so many things we could talk about. There's so many things. And that's a reminder. If any of you would like something in particular talked about or have a question, please in the comments, leave it. Or even whether it's now or whether it's, later, leave us a comment of a topic you're interested in, and we'll see what we can do as far as addressing it or give some guidance in that direction. But let's see. Hey, Amy, good to see you. From studies, anger is not a root issue. And you're exactly right. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, because I came across a quote this last week that I posted on my Facebook that kind of got me thinking a little bit. And then we're reading a verse this morning from the Bible that discussing with the kids, it kind of got us thinking some more about it. And so we want conversation and thoughts from everyone, but I want to give a few things that stood out to us as we were thinking about it, the whole concept of anger. But the quote that I came across was, "Be slow to anger and deliberate of action. However, when moved to violence, strike hard and win at all costs." Think about that. Be slow to anger and deliberate of action. However, when moved to violence, strike hard and win at all costs. And so that's a pretty drastic, quote. Goodness. And that's something that's pretty powerful. And then the verse that we were reading this morning said, "Be angry, but do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your wrath or anger." And so we were thinking about that, how that, and that was from the Bible. That quote, the second one, that verse says, "Be angry, but do not sin." And I was interested, just kind of, especially from the second one from the Bible, where it talks about, be angry.
So it's not wrong to be angry.
Yeah. So I always thought, growing up, that anger was wrong. Anger is sin. Anger is something you don't want to be. And in fact, I had some people that we went and listened to for a while that were actually taught the truth that no anger is ever good. And I'm not in any way condoning anger, violence, as far as anything that hurts other people at all. But as we talk about this a little bit, I think that anger has a part to play. There is an anger that's natural. There's an anger that's can be channeled and used in and become as a friend to us, and not a foe to us or others around us. And that's what we're talking about. Obviously, like the verse says, be angry, but do not sin. Right after that, it says, do not sin. So obviously, it can be a sin. It can be used in the wrong way. It can be abused. It can be very harmful.
And I think that's what most people think about when you just think about anger. The picture that comes to mind is the sin that can happen because of anger.
Yeah. And that's most of the time what we experience and stuff. But that whole concept of be angry, is we're told to be angry, then maybe we need to figure out, maybe this is not just an enemy, it is a foe. Maybe, it's not a foe, it is a friend. Maybe it's not just a foe, it's a friend. So how do we channel it, or what is it all about? And I think one thing that I've been thinking about for myself is, because I did kind of grow up with the whole concept of all anger is bad, you always want to be a peacemaker, the concept of a gentle answer turns away wrath, which I highly recommend that. I highly believe in that as far as a lifestyle, of err on the side of peace. As another verse says, as far as is up to you, be at peace with all men. And so that is a concept I think that is very important, and we're supposed to be peacemakers. And that's why even that quote that's not the Bible verse that says, "Be slow to anger and deliberate of action, but, however, when moved to violence, strike hard and win at all cost." There is a place for extreme, powerful action, and I think that's what anger to me is all about. Is it's a force inside of you that we can, if we can channel it, that it actually can be something very positive, very friendly for us, and very good for us, that actually causes us to move and take action that we normally wouldn't do. As I was saying for myself, kind of almost being a pacifist growing up and always trying to take the back seat, or not wanting to have conflict, or not wanting to stand up against people because it make waves and that kind of stuff. As I started looking at myself and saying, you know what, I need to almost in a sense get angry, or allow myself to get angry at certain things that are wrong, and to stand for things that are right, in order to actually overcome my fears, or overcome whatever it is that keeps me from being willing to step forward and take a stand and speak passionately about something, or even contradict somebody who's completely wrong. And that's where I think anger can be positive, because basically what anger does, when you have a good dose of anger, which I've had plenty of the wrong angers, and I've seen it affect this way as well, it basically blinds you from anything that's rational at times. It helps you overcome your fears. You'll say things you never would have said before. You'll take action. You'll throw stuff, or whatever it is, It's something that, it'll cause you to overcome your inhibitions that keep you from taking action. And that's ultimately what I think that is the positive thing for it. Like for example, some of the things that have gotten me to actually take action is when I stop and I look at how, my being peaceful, laid back, calm, or whatever, has caused me to just not just take life for granted, and to just kind of let time fly, slip past, and not take actions on things I know I should do, not be disciplined, not put my kids and my family as priority in my life, and allowing my work, my business, to just kind of come in and take over for the sake of keeping my customers at peace, or keeping my, trying to keep whatever business, or other people besides my family, or things that I am responsible for as well, that are a big part of my life. And it wasn't until I finally stopped one time and was actually looking at that and saying, it started getting me pissed. I started getting mad. I was like, why the heck am I letting customers, other people, businesses, phone calls, internet, this freaking phone, whatever it is, come in and just take over my life and make me miss, my kids' events, or miss time with my kids, or distract me from our family dessert movie night on Friday nights that we try to have. And so it got me upset to the place where I was actually willing to take action and say, I am going to start scheduling family activities just like I schedule work activities, and make it just as much a priority. And I am going to turn my phone off. I'm not going to listen and respond to texts or emails during family time or on the weekend, unless, and just deal with that at certain times. I'm going to, it drove me to actually just like take action. And actually, it drove me on, in one situation, it gave me the courage, or it gave me the gumption, or whatever, to actually like respond to someone, and when they were like putting a guilt trip on me, to actually step up to them and say, you know what, I'm sorry, but this is more important. I'll take care of that on Monday. I'm busy. And that's it. Boom. No more discussion. And so that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. It can definitely, if we can channel it right and use it in the right way, it can definitely become an energizing source of power to actually cause us to take action. Because I think that's one of the things that that we all struggle with, is either not taking action when we should, and then actually taking action when we shouldn't. And that's where anger can be either a friend or a foe. And definitely err on the side of being slow, but don't be so slow that you are just a push around. And that, it says, you've heard the quote to say, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for everything. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for everything. And it's the same thing here. If you don't have enough gumption, Alicia and I were talking about it a little bit, and I was asking her, And I was asking the kids this morning too as we were discussing this. I was like, so when's the last time that you actually got angry? And of course, you can think of the negative times, where you got angry, frustrated. Joanna said something about her siblings, and she got angry at them coming to her room or whatever, getting her stuff or whatever. So, there's negative stuff. But also, I asked the kids, okay, well, when was some time that you actually got angry about wrong, about evil, about sin? You got wrong about other people being abused or mistreated. When's the last time that you've actually gotten angry enough about good things that you're willing to actually take action and take a stand in something? Do you have any thoughts on that? What comes to mind for you?
Okay, well, so something I was thinking about is, and I confess that there are times with the kids, that anger wells up, and when I respond correctly and use it as it's a signal that something, okay, for instance, our house being a mess drives me nuts, and it can definitely cause some anger. And so then if I use that as a signal that, okay, something needs to change here, rather than yelling at the kids or, whatever, I need to stop and figure out, all right, I need to seriously make a change. And I need to figure out a better schedule. I need to, what's the problem here? Why am I angry? Or, what's the issue and what can I do about it? And so I come up with a solution, and it's a much better situation. So that would be, one of those where anger would be, the right response to anger is getting so frustrated, that I can put up with the mess. Okay, I can't. So, let's change something here. And anyway, that would be one, just using it as a signal that things are not right. Maybe we get frustrated. I mean, I've done this with business stuff. You just get lackadaisical. You don't want to do what you need to do. And then you just get frustrated at the end of the day, and just that sense of anger and I did nothing profitable. And okay, well, what needs to change? What can I do different tomorrow? Yeah. And so, and it does it. It helps you, propels you to, okay, go get out of your freaking comfort zone and go do what you need to do. So
I think that's why the truth is, be slow to anger. Any kind of anger, whether it's good anger or bad anger, be slow to it and let it and give you. And basically, what that means is take time to figure out what it is to make sure that it is, and that you can take the right response and channel it in the right way. And so that's important. But you didn't need to channel it. You need to move with it and go. And basically, what it comes down to is it helps you take action.
Exactly.
And
that would be the good response.
Because here's the thing: if you're not angry at anything, if you're the kind of guy or gal that's kind of just go with the flow. Oh yeah, everyone's cool, everything's great. Let's just get along, love, peace, perfect. Man. Let's just do this thing. If I don't hurt them, they won't hurt me. This whole concept, honestly, is kind of what's being pushed right now in our culture, which is a very dangerous concept, I believe. But if we're just so lackadaisical and flippant about things,
it really takes away any passion about anything.
Then guess what? You're not going to have, exactly right, you're not going to have passion about anything. You're not going to have, because basically anger comes when you have a belief in something.
Yeah.
That's what stirs it up.
Think about Jesus in the temple.
Yeah.
He got angry because...
he actually went and got a whip, and he drove these salespeople out of the temple and pushed their tables over, knocked stuff on the ground, drove them all out, drove the animals out. I mean, good grief.
Because he was so passionate
about the holiness of the temple and what it stood for, and truth and right. And so that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's what I've been thinking about is if I'm not ever angry about anything, that ultimately means that I don't believe anything.
Right.
I don't stand for anything. That I'm not willing to even risk my life for anything. I'm going to be a freaking pushover in everything. And that's what got me going towards I need to really figure out, I hope I got some anger in my life. I hope I have some passion in my life, that I can channel in a right way and use as an energy or as a tool to propel me and cause me to take action, to move, to stop, to stand up against the flood of iniquity, against evil that wants to come and take our freedoms and make wrong be right and right be wrong. I mean, there's some things that are worth dying for. Not everything. Be careful on what mountains you stake your flag and say, it's all or nothing here, But when there is a cause that is dear to you and that you are all in on, then by all means, like the quote says, be slow to anger and deliberate of action. However, when moved to violence, strike hard and win at all costs. I mean, some things are worth dying over. Some things are worth winning at all
Sacrificing
costs
your
and
time,
dying.
whatever.
I was talking to the kids about, the founding of this country, America, and the founding fathers, and how freedom from tyranny and everything was worth them fighting over. And they were like, came to the place where they moved with violence, they striked hard, and they won at all costs. And I remember the founding fathers, one of them said, if we don't hang together, we'll most assuredly hang separately. And that was the truth. They knew it was an all or nothing, all in kind of situation where they were going to have to act because they believed so strong in it. And so, so actually the cool thing, if you are an angry person, let me just say this, if you're an angry person, you need to channel it because you don't want to use it to hurt people.
Right.
But you also, that is something, a great tool that you can use to be a powerful leader, a powerful influencer, and have, a powerful effect on culture and society and people. And so it's something that if you can get it under control and master it, it can make you into an awesome individual. And that's what I'm excited about. And if you don't have any anger, then maybe you need to start getting yourself fired up. Figure out, do you believe in anything? Is there anything at all that you even care about? And figure out what that is, and then start acting upon it, and start stirring the pot a little bit. Let's get things going. Let's start looking around. Let's start getting ourselves educated to figure out, because we're here for a purpose. Our life is here. We're here for a purpose, not just to waste it, go with the flow, be pushed around, let other people dictate, what we do. One of the things we're going to talk about at the Crown Conference is failing to plan is planning to fail. And so, if you're just go with the flow, then the flow is going to go. Then with the flow, you're going to go. It's going to be done. And stuff. So I don't know. Any thoughts or comments there? We'd love to hear from you guys. Even after the fact, get some discussion going. But basically, what it comes down to is whatever it takes to give you a kick in the pants and get you to take action and do the things that you need to do. I say go for it. Let's make it happen. If I need to come and light a fire in your pants to get you to jump off the couch or whatever it is, and it gets you pissed, good. If it gets you pissed and gets you moving, then there's acting, and then we can do something. We can start channeling it. But until we get you moving and get you pissed, then you're useless. You're hopeless. Nothing's going to happen and stuff. So think about that whole concept. Be angry, but do not sin. And then the verse goes on, do not let the sun go down in your wrath. I mean, when we do get out of control and stuff, it's important to deal with it. Go back and make things right, or make whatever you need to do to make restoration, make peace, because we do want to be at peace with all men, but we don't want to be at peace with the enemy. We don't want to be at peace with things that destroy us. We don't want to be at peace with time wasters and time robbers and negative thoughts, negative feelings. We want to be angry at those. We want to be passionate. We want to stand at all cost against it and take swift, hard action to do those, to not let those things take over, because they will, their whole goal is to steal, kill, and destroy from us and from you. And so just a few little thoughts. Anything else you want to add to that?
I was just going to say, so, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. So another thing would be just have some steps of action by the end of that night. This is where I'm going with it. Don't let it just simmer and stew all night. But really have some steps of action. This is what
many
I'm gonna
times
do in the
that
morning.
I've had a tense day, and I feel like I've had stuff come out this way and this way. I've gotten upset and intense upset about it. I've responded. I've had to lash out or whatever it is, or it's been just frustrating. I'm like angry, pent up. I've had to take times in the evening to just kind of calm, reflect, figure out what actions I need to take, and then once I actually take the actions, guess what? The anger subsides. It calms down. That's what it's there to do. It's there to stir us up to really give attention and focus on something and take whatever action is necessary. And then, the idea is to calm it and take it aside. And if you've taken actions that were too fast, too hasty, wrong, in the wrong way to the wrong person, then that's the time to call them up, text, get together, say, hey, I'm sorry, I apologize. I had one of those the other day. I had to call one of the guys in my office, and because I had something come up, and it was something that was really, last minute, that should have been caught, and I chewed him out, and I was pissed over the phone. I was like, whatever, I was angry. And then, but I went ahead and took my action, dealt with the situation, whatever, and after the fact, I felt bad. I was like, you know what? It wasn't him. He was just a messenger. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his deal. And so I actually called him back up and had to apologize, say, I'm sorry. It wasn't you. I was caught up in the moment. We dealt with the situation. It could have been a really bad situation. We caught it in time and stuff. But I'm sorry for responding the way I did to you. It wasn't you. And so then, guess what? We're at peace. We're okay. We can move on. And I'll try not to do that again. I'll try to remember next time to respond to the situation or to myself and not to the person. And so it's a struggle, we're going to have to deal with. And that's why it says, be angry, and right after that,
It's gonna
but
happen.
do not sin.
That's right.
Keep this baby under control
Right.
and stuff, because it's a powerful tool, but it can be a destructive tool as well for not only yourself, but
Good or
for
bad.
all those around you. And the same thing for yourself. You can get angry at yourself for getting up late, or for eating too much, or for not being sticking to your commitments, not being a person of your word. But give yourself a break too. Take the action steps, but then also give yourself a break. Don't put yourself at peace and allow yourself a chance to try again and go. Otherwise, it does become harmful. It becomes something that's destructive and causes bitterness and causes worse effects.
I think
long
just
term.
like sin would be, using your words in a very hurtful, harmful way with that anger, the same thing can be true. We say things to ourselves that we would never dream of saying. It would be sin to say it to somebody else. So why do we say it to ourselves, So,
We'll kind of end with this here. We don't want to go too long, but one of the things that's a concept that's powerful with the idea of speaking to yourself is, your subconscious mind, your brain, it doesn't know whether what you're saying is right or wrong, or is a joke or not. What you say, it takes for full gospel. And so if you say something, as a joke, or if you're just spouting off loud, I'm a dumb idiot, blah, 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 your brain's going to believe that's the case, and it's going to
Exactly.
start acting in that direction.
Yep.
And it's going to start stirring your subconscious and attracting those kind of things in your life.
right.
And so you got to be so careful what you blurt out, what you say. And if it's not true, make sure you correct it. Make sure you reinforce even more so the truth of what is true. And so that's just a little side note.
Yeah, we can keep going, but that's good.
Anyway, it's good to see Kate, Kat,
Thank you.
Pascal, and Gary, Michael. Good to see you. And those of you that we missed, sorry, we get passionate and focused on what we do and stuff. Because this is a reason. This is something to be passionate about, because this is your life. It's my life.
Yep.
This is our moment. And if we don't seize
We
the
only get
moment,
one
guess
chance.
what? We're gonna miss out.
Yep.
And someone else is. And hopefully that person is someone, or those people are some people promoting what's right and wrong, right and not wrong, and going to, otherwise, we're just given opportunities to. And so it's our turn to stand, especially as we get ready to celebrate July 4th coming up, and Independence Day, all this stuff. There's been many people before us that have taken a stand, and we're enjoying the freedoms from those people now. But now it's our moment. Maybe we're not out fighting battles and shooting guns right now, but we have to be able to stand for truth, what's right, and let our voices be heard. Make sure our lives are a living example of what we believe, and make sure we're representing what's right for our kids and our communities. And that's what this Kings of Change conference is all about. Get men to stand up and take leadership, take ownership, become kings in their mind, in their families, in their communities. So anyways, look forward to seeing all you men next weekend. And for the rest of you all, we'll look forward to talking next weekend.
That's right.
And yeah, we'll be able to have an update. We'll do our Facebook Live next
we'll do it,
Saturday,
yeah.
Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and have an update for how it went. And hopefully we'll see a lot of you there. So anyways, we all have a good afternoon and a good rest of your weekend, and we will look forward to seeing you on the next Justin and Lisa show.
Thanks for joining us.